Good morning, everyone. Hope everyone is good and safe. Today, in the second session, we will be dealing with what is purchasing, the objectives of purchasing, scientific purchasing, and steps in purchasing. So, what do you mean by purchasing? Purchasing refers to the activity of acquiring goods or services to accomplish the goals of an organization. In simple term, it is an act of buying any item at a price. Buying any items at a price. So, now coming to the objectives. Let us see what are the different objectives of purchasing. The first objective is to provide benefits of material, supply, equipment at minimum possible cost. That means to get your materials like raw materials, components, supplies and tools, whichever is needed for the production with the possible minimum cost. That is the first objective. Second one, to ensure continuous flow of production. Continuous flow of production is only possible if you are having a supply of raw materials, components and other tools and the good equipments which are getting repair and maintenance services in a regular basis, then only it is possible to have a continuous flow of production, which is again a objective of purchasing. The third objective is to increase the asset turnover. Asset turnover is nothing but how much you are able to convert the asset into sales, or in simple terms, whether there is any inventory which is being kept idle, which is not getting converted into sales, which will decrease your asset turnover. If you are having a good purchasing department and a material management system in place, asset turnover will be increased. The fourth one is to find the alternate sources of supply. You can have two types of sources. One is multi sources or a single source, depending on what are your needs and how which one will be suitable for you. You have to select the sources, and it is always better to have multi sources because your bargaining ability will be more and you will be getting materials even during the difficult times. For example, during this time where to get the materials is little difficult, if you are depending on multi sources, it will be really effective for production. The fifth one is to establish and maintain good relation with suppliers. The purchase department should ensure that it is having a favorable relation with the suppliers, wherein they are able to give reasonable prices. The suppliers are able to give reasonable prices and will be getting a preferential allocation of materials. If you're having good relation with the supplier, naturally they will be telling about new products or some improvements which can be done in production based on their research and development, which can be very good for your production unit. The sixth objective is to achieve maximum integration with other department of the company. As purchase department is one department which is linked with all other department, or the requirements of the department from the company will be the source for purchasing the products. So it is very necessary to have good relationship with production department, engineering department, marketing department, finance department, and so on and so forth. The seventh objective is to train and develop personnel. Purchasing is one department which should have personals who are able to think for the future. Okay, so it is very important to have employees, and in order to have efficient personals in this field, it is very important to give proper training and development. So that is one of the objectives of the purchase department. And the last objective being ensure efficient record keeping and management reporting. This is nothing but regular audits being done and making sure that all those which is needed for like this stock in hand and how much is required is clearly and meticulously recorded. This will help in maintaining a good material management, and this is one of the objectives of purchasing. Now, coming back to the next one, what is scientific purchasing? Okay, it is the procurement by purchase of proper materials, machinery, equipment, and supplies or store, which is used in the manufacture of product for marketing in a proper quantity and quality. If you are having proper materials, machinery, equipment, and supplies, naturally you can have a proper quantity and quality at proper time, which can be offered at lowest price at a desirable quality. So this is the definition. It is important. Okay. So scientific purchasing is the procurement by purchase of proper materials, machinery, equipment, supplies or store used in manufacture of a product, adapted for marketing in proper quantity and quality at the proper time and at the lowest price consistent with the quality desired. Now, next one is what is the importance of scientific purchasing? Going to rather than going to the next slide, just let me tell what are the points which we had already discussed in the class. So, to just brush up on that, I will tell. First one is to buy right quality of material, which will ensure that there is zero defect in your final product. If you are getting your raw materials in right quality, the chances of you making the right quality final product will be more. If your raw materials are not of good quality, naturally your final product will have its impact on it. Second one is optimum use of storage space. Scientific purchasing will help in optimum use of storage space. So let us see the remaining ones. So as I told, right quality of material which will enable to have a zero defect products. Second one, optimum use of storage space. Third one is creation of satisfied customer base. If you are using good quality raw materials, your quality of the finished products naturally will increase, which will increase your satisfaction of your customer. Then the next point is it enhances the reputation and goodwill of your company. No much explanation is needed. Then material procurement account. The thing is, 40% of a production unit cost is based on material procurement. Okay, so it is very important to have scientific purchasing. If you're not having a proper method of purchasing good quality products at a cheaper rate, it will have a great impact on your profit. Okay. So the next topic which we will be dealing with is steps in purchasing, or rather purchasing cycle. Let's go to the next slide. The first one is recognition of need. It refers to the means by which a needed item is officially brought to the attention of the purchasing department. There are two methods by which this can be done. How you can tell the purchasing department this is the need. First one is issuance of requisition or demand notes, wherein the department, for example, engineering department, will put forth the material which is required for them to make a particular project or a product. They will give this as a demand note and it will be given to the purchasing department. Otherwise, it can be like another way. Engineering department comes to know about a new material which is available. They order it from the market for a trial basis. Once they get the bills of materials, once they find that the specification which they need is correct, they can give the bill of materials to the purchasing department for the procurement of materials in large quantity in the future coming years. So these are the two methods. One is through demand notes, or requisition letters from the department, or through bill of material. These are the two types of ways by which the need can be given to the purchase department. Next one is description of the need. When you are specifying your need, you should make sure that what are the specification needed. For example, if you need an integrated circuit, naturally the number for that particular integrated circuit should be written. The details of the same should be written. All those things will be described. Uh, okay, and once that is being given, then the purchase department will be selecting the source selection. They will look for whether they have to go for a single source or a multi source. There are both benefits as well as disadvantages of going for single or multi source. There are a lot of debate going on whether we have to go for a single source or a multi source. So it's purely based on what is the product or the requirement which you need for your production. That is the main thing by which you will be looking into whether to go for single or multi source. Then determination of price and availability. Okay, here availability can be known through three methods. One is through vendor catalogs. The supplier will have their own catalogs which will be giving the details of what are the available products, what are the specification, how much quantity and their prices. All those things will be available. Otherwise there will be negotiation which will be happening between the buyer and the sellers, and by which you will be bargaining and you will be establishing the price for the products which you have already ordered. The third method is through inviting tenders. Inviting tenders. Tender notice will be given, and based on the quotations given by the suppliers, you will be taking the best supplier. Okay. Now the next step is placing the order. Once you have finalized with the price and availability, you will be placing the order. After the order is being placed, usually the supplier will acknowledge your order. They will give an acknowledgement of the order. After that, you can have a follow-up wherein you will be contacting the supplier and making sure that the material is delivered on time. And the last one is once you receive the materials, you will be checking the invoice and approving it for making the payment to the supplier, and the payment will be done. So these are the steps which are involved in purchasing, or it is called as a purchasing cycle. To get a better understanding, the same thing is being represented as a diagram here. First, you will be recognizing your need, then you will be describing your need in this step. After that, you will be finding the different ways by which you can procure the materials. After that, once you have different supply, you will be selecting the best vendor. After that, the purchase order will be made and it will be sent. Okay, so that is purchase order processing, and after that this will be checked by the supplier, and they will acknowledge the order. After that, the goods will be received at the end of the buyer or in the production unit. After the goods have been thoroughly checked, the invoice will be checked and the payment processing will start. So this is the requirement cycle or purchasing cycle. Okay. So in today's session, we mainly dealt with what is purchasing, what are the objectives of purchasing, what do you mean by scientific purchase, importance of scientific purchasing, and purchase cycle. Hope this was a very good session for you. If you have any clarification or any questions regarding this session, please feel free to either comment in the Google Classroom or you can WhatsApp me. We can have a detailed session. Thank you so much.